morning, YouTube. Louie here with the best silver gold deals of Monday, November 3rd, 2025. And don't forget, your clocks have changed. Nice to have a little extra time this morning. We can get this done here. Okay, we've got gold up $10 to 4,011. Silver up 11 cents to 48.71, and we did have a little pullback on Friday, as I expected, but never got out of control, and here we are bouncing right back. 48.71 spot market, 48.44. I think those are December futures, front month futures. 48.44, backwardation of about 2 bits. And, so must be still a little problem over there in London. Gold silver ratio at 82.18, 10-year yield 4.10, unchanged. Why is that not coming down? Well, we'll have to see here. We've got copper right about flat at 5.15. Platinum making a move. Okay, it looks like it wants to go to the party first. Up $31 to 15.86 in the futures market. GDX, basket of gold miners, down 3 cents to 72.03. But that chart does not look encouraging to me. Same for silver miners, SIL. That chart is not inspiring either. We'll have to see which way that goes. In the economic calendar, I don't know which of these will come out or not, but we would theoretically have durable goods orders at 8:30 Eastern. Tuesday, we would have the Case-Shiller Home Price Index and consumer confidence a little later. Wednesday, trade balance, pending home sales, FOMC interest rate decision. Oh, I'm on last week. What in the world is going on here? Why am I in last week? Holy moly. Sorry about that, guys. Next week. It is next week, Market Watch. What, did they all take the weekend off? Let's see. Monday, today, we have PMI, ISM, construction spending, Fed head speaker, and auto sales, if we get any of those releases. Tomorrow, we have a Fed head speaker, the trade deficit, factory orders, and job openings. If we get job openings, that might be interesting. Wednesday, ADP employment, we'll get that for sure, and that will probably move the market. So, I don't know, we could see higher prices going into Wednesday. Let's keep going here. In the pre-market, the stock market will not be stopped. Fear Greed Index rising at 47 in the neutral category. Now, typically we don't get a sell-off until we get way over into the greed, but a lot of interesting signals coming out of volatility index and put-call ratios. However, right now we are at 47 on the Fear Greed Index. Dow futures up 9, S&P futures up 22, NASDAQ futures up 167. The market wants to keep rallying. And where is the canary in the coal mine? Which I never see. Here we go. Okay, down. Bitcoin down 2,607 to 107,748. Goodbye, Bitcoin. All right, and what's the better investment? Bitcoin, gold, or silver? I don't know. You decide. You know what I think. All right, now we're on the website, bestsilvergolddeals.com. Welcome, new members, subscribers, and people just passing by. I'm sponsored by No Bullion Dealers, and I want to just try to find you the best price, looking at a variety of different sources, not just one source and not just one dealer that says they have the best prices. So let's do that every morning. That is the hard work. And if you're going to be a hard stacker, you got to do the hard work, okay? And then you get the better prices. We'll do a 1/100th gold is going to be $50 over at SD Bullion. 1 gram gold in assay, 1/31st of an ounce of gold, 154 for a Arger Heraeus bar in assay. Out of assay, it will be cheaper. You know, best is a subjective word. And what I try to focus on here is brilliant uncirculated. I try to focus on gold in assay, the stuff that you'd actually kind of really like to have in your stack, but there's always something cheaper depending on condition. All right, let's move on to a 1/10th Gold Eagle. 1/10th Gold Eagle bullion exchanges, $4.45 for a 1/10 ounce of gold. Probably better on eBay. We'll get there in a minute. Maple, 1/10th Maple at Safe Haven Metals, $4.52. No, thank you. 1/10th Philharmonic, $4.40. Is there any difference between a 1/10th Maple and a 1/10th Philharmonic? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, in my opinion. Is there any difference between a Philharmonic and a U.S. Gold Eagle? Absolutely, there is. All right, we'll get into that another day. How about a .1106 ducat? That is 462 at Monument Metals. Let's move on to a quarter ounce gold eagle is 1,105 at Summit Metals. The melt on that is around 4,400. And here is a sovereign gold coin, a 1/4 ounce polar bear for 1,057. You can see how much cheaper that is. That's over at Golden Eagle, if gold is gold to you, but you do like sovereign gold. Let's do a $5 commemorative, also a great price, at $9.81 at Monument Metals, and those are nice little coins. 0.241 ounce of gold there. We'll do a ½ ounce gold eagle. That is $2,144 at Monument Metals. You new guys notice how the premium, the melt price drops as you go bigger. So the melt on this is about 4,300. The melt on the quarter ounce was about 4,400. Something like the polar bear, the melt was something like 4,150, I think. So you can see bigger is cheaper, so you may want to save up for bigger. Let's move on to a random ½ ounce sovereign gold coin, 2,064. Now the melt on this is 4,028. 4,100. 4,128, I think. So there you go. There's a random sovereign gold coin. I believe they're uncirculated. That's a cheap way to go. A 1 ounce gold eagle is going to be 41.62 at Summit Metals. Not a terrible price. A buffalo about $50 more. Let's keep going here and move on to the Krugerrand, and often one of the cheaper 1 ounce gold coins. Been around for decades and decades. 4,069. I think that might be brilliant uncirculated. Not a bad price there. Safe Haven Metals, I think that was. The 5 peso is an Uruguay 5 peso, a Centenario, and that is 1,019. That's a full quarter ounce of gold, and I really like that about this coin. Easy to do the math on that. The melt on that is 4,060. It's a good purchase right there if you don't mind foreign gold. Let's move on to the 3rd ounce platinum coins over at bullion.com. And probably going to be pricier today than they were on Saturday. But nonetheless, 560 for a 3rd ounce of platinum, and that would be, what would that be, 1680 melt against a spot price of $15.93. So only about a $90 melt differential on that platinum coin, and nobody knows what these are, or nobody collects these probably. Fractional platinum is definitely hard to sell in the retail market. But if you believe in platinum, and if you follow Louis' rule that platinum should reach about 50% of the price of gold, just because I think so, then you would expect this an ounce of platinum to go for $2,000 someday. At least $1,800, I would think. So I would think that'd be a pretty good buy for the long-term deep stack. 1 ounce random platinum coin, cheapest is the maple, Canadian maple, 1,718, cheaper by the thirds. All right, moving on here, and we got a silver eagle, and I hope you didn't miss this, and it's funny, I can just hear the scissors roaring on these things. Isn't it ridiculous that you take silver out of the ground, you make it into a silver eagle, the U.S. Mint sells it to a reseller sells it to a bullion dealer sends it to a slabbing company, the slabbing company slabs it and charges them a couple bucks for that. They put it on their website and they can't sell it, right? That's why it's so cheap. $53.96, and if you only listen to 1 or 2 channels, you would miss this, but I find stuff like this very, very often. So buy as many as you want, get out your scissors, cut those out of there, and you can get yourself a tube of 2,025 eagles at a credit card price, okay, $53.96. If you got one of those good credit cards, you'll be out the door in the 52s for 2025 silver eagles. Last time I checked, you could buy 1,000 of these, and it would also be a good resale item if you resell on eBay. If and only if you think silver stays in the high 40s. If you don't think that, don't buy that. But this is an amazing way to clear out the government inventory. The only thing I'd recommend about government is when you sign up for government, put a fake phone number in there, because they will call you, and a guy that sounds like your grandpa will talk you into buying something you really don't need. Okay, if you just want to look at the standard deal, now these are backdate Silver Eagles, 56.44. Look at that. Why has that government deal not sold out? Why? Because you're not following my channel, guys. Or you don't have, if you want to go through the trouble of signing up for alerts on every single bullion dealer like I have, do that. I welcome you to it. If you find something better, let me know, because the community here is looking out for each other. Here's culls. You can get culls for 51.28, but for $1 more, you can get 2025 BU in a stupid card. Do not get slab stuff, guys. You can see the retail market is very soft for that. A silver maple is 51.97. I think these will be older. You might get some milk spots, but it's not a bad price at 51.97 for a backdate silver maple at BGASC, who specialize in circulated coins. Somewhere like a Summit Metals specializes in BU coins. One dealer is not like the other. Okay, the lowest price, you got to have the same thing to pick the lowest price. 2025 Kangaroo, too expensive at 53.20 over at Summit Metals. A Britannia is going to be 52.88 over at Summit Metals. A Krugerrand is going to be 53 even at Monument Metals. And a little lonely Philharmonic is going to be 52.44 at Summit Metals. Pick up the Philharmonic if you got to buy something, but you'd be silly to buy that if you didn't buy 20 of those government deals. Okay, let's keep moving here. And U.S. Mint coming up soon. The Marines are coming up. Limited edition silver proof set is coming up. Buy those and make you some money in the aftermarket, please. We got Costco. Haven't checked them yet this morning, but Costco is going to be going to have some gold, I think. Yeah, we got some gold. We don't seem to have the gold coins anymore. We never seem to have the silver coins. You can get a Rand bar for $41.99 with an executive club membership and a 2% rebate credit card. You get 4% off. You'd be right around melt on that Rand bar. That is a good deal. And don't buy the big bars, guys. They're just too hard to sell. Buy and authenticate, and a dealer is going to raise an eyebrow, and you want to send it to the refiner for testing or do a scratch test on it or something. Just get the 1 ounce bars. Multiples if you want. Pamp bar is very nice. The Freedom bar is very nice from Pamp as well. If you want gold near spot, do that. That executive club membership will cost you $130. Junk in the trunk this morning is going to be about 70 cents below spot. And the spot prices, there are multiple spot prices. There's the dealer spot price, which they make up. There is the London spot price, which is right here, 48.68. There's the front month futures, which is 48.49. So what I'd like to do is just pick the lowest of all of those and consider that the real spot price. We're going to call that 48.49, and therefore, if I don't get too lost here, I got lost. 48.49 versus that one right there of 171, the cheat sheet here, I fixed this. 171 is 34.20. 34 is a 47.60. Okay, call it 47.70. 47.70 is 90 cents under spot. 47.70 is 80 cents under futures. Well, I guess they're close enough. I guess we can just kind of skip that. Let's go on to another seller. Big Lot over at Monument Metals is, out of stock. That is really surprising, considering $1 under spot is not a good deal on junk, guys. We're getting it much cheaper on eBay. All right, let's keep going here. Sorry, I missed that one. Tuber rounds at spot is still for sale. They cannot get rid of these random rounds. They'll be secondary market. And you can melt them, you can stack them, do anything you want, but $9.78 for a tube is not a bad price at bullion exchanges. No, that is not spot, but it is pretty close. Let's move on to, what else do we got here? The 1.5 ounce, I know you guys like these. I think it's an absolutely stupid coin, and they milk spot, depending how old they are. So 74.55, they call that a dollar over spot. They'll be sovereign Canadian coins, and very odd weight right there. So go for it. If you're gonna buy bigger coins, get the 2-ounce coins. They have a much better there's a much stronger aftermarket for those. Dealers may even pay more for those. 10-ounce random silver is going to be $4.95 over at Monument Metals. And what else we got? A kilo for you is Safe Haven Metals, $1,633. And ask bid. What is this? Ask bid. Sell to SHM. Huh, I never saw this before. 1471. Now look at the buy-sell spread on that. You'd be out of your mind to pick up a bar with a $200. What is that buy-sell spread? 1471 over 1633. 1471 divided by 1633. This is how bullion dealers stay in business. Look at that. A 10% buy-sell spread if you buy from them and sell to them. What you do is you buy at the cheapest possible place. That'll likely be on eBay, or sometimes it's on Costco, sometimes it's on Walmart, sometimes it's over, it's at Summit Metals. I mean, we just look around every morning. We want to reduce our buy-sell spread to 2%. Can we do that? Hell yeah. Yeah, you take those Silver Eagles, 25 Silver Eagles, you could buy those today and sell those back to the dealer probably, I don't know, probably at a profit. Okay, so yeah, let's keep our buy-sell spread reasonable. We can find that product cheaper, and we could certainly find someone to buy it back at a higher price. A 100-ounce bar is $49.78 at Monument Metals. Not too bad. Let's go on to a kilo kook. $49.78 versus a kilo kook. What in the world? 1630. Oh, I'm sorry. I just had a brain fart there. Anyway, 1637 for a kilo kook at SD Bullion. Nobody's collecting anymore. That's because, the spot price has escalated rapidly. People are all about weight right now. Now, if the spot price stays at $50 for 3 months, then you're going to see some of these prices equalize on the collector coins. People will jump back into collector coins, vintage bars, etc. Right now, collectors are, they're not enjoying all of the appreciation that pure stackers are. Okay, the limited edition silver proof set is, sold out. Holy macaroni, that's a new list. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? You can't subscribe to it. I totally understand that, but it's coming up for release on November 6th. So is it sold out or is it not sold out? Now, these are going for $150 over issue price. I've been telling you about this for weeks and weeks now. Hopefully you got your subscription on that. Let's see. We can get a pocket pinger on eBay for 3% off if we use our PayPal card or American Express Everyday Cash. So those are the cards I recommend. Links on my website. Thank you to the individual that pointed out I needed to put a hyperlink into my link to my website. That was helpful, which I did. Okay, let's move on to the better deals. We're going to do Silver Eagles. All right, can we beat $52 2025 Silver Eagles? Probably not. Let's see what we got here on the mid-size sellers. Come on, somebody cough it up. 1,083. They have been toned. It's a good seller, pretty good feedback. Random year off quality, hazing and toning. The toning you can take care of. The hazing you'll never get rid of unless you use a pencil eraser. And then, have mercy on the next guy that buys that from you. Please don't do that shit. So 1,088, that'd put you at $54, and that'd be $52.50 out the door for culls. That is not a good deal. How about BU? BGASC, not my favorite seller. Oh my gosh, well, I guess we'll have to take a look at them. What are they selling? A tube of 20. A tube of 20 what? A tube of 20 ungraded silver eagles. A tube of 20, and he says, random, likely to contain coins with same date. These are in uncirculated condition, which can contain toning or slight contact marks. So they'll be the bottom of the barrel, but they will be uncirculated. So that is $54.50. That'd be about $53 out the door if you're just looking for a tube of backdate eagles. That'll beat the dealer, but it won't beat that government deal. Yeah, clean them out, guys. Just clean them out, But please don't let them call you. Don't get into a relationship with government. I'm telling you, you don't want to do it, especially you new guys with lots of money. They're looking for you. Okay, maples. A tube of maples is $12.75. That's pretty cheap. Tube of Britannias is $13.20. Uh-oh. A tube of Britannias is... Did I just do that? Yeah, I just did that. Sorry about that. A tube of kangaroos is $13.17. A tube of Krugerrands, 25 to a tube, is $13.25. We got to go back to number one, which is the tube of maples. What is wrong with maple? They are 2014's pre-shield guard. They're messed up. And $12.75 on the cheat sheet. Oh, $12.75 on the cheat sheet will put you way down here at $49.40 out the door. Well, that's right around melt for messed up maples. I believe they are 4.9s. 4.9s, you can melt those. Okay, you guys, melt in silver. 4.9s maples will melt bitchin', and the milk spots will not matter at all. It just burns right off. Let's keep going here. So maybe I'd get the cull maples. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. Let's see. I missed my shot at $51 eagles. I'm kicking myself on that. But that government deal is a very good deal. That's a very... I should buy that. I should buy that. Okay, let's see. Liberty, walking halves. No, I'm going to skip that one. Quarters, half dollars, mixed. They probably mixed some slicks in there. Washington quarters, random date. Yeah, they're modestly circulated. That's not too bad. Let's see, 34 point. Let's call that 34 times face. Out the door would be about $1.20 off. Would be 32.80 times face. Let's get the melt on this. 32.8 divided by what? 0.715. Who are you going to call? 0.715. And 45.87. Ding, ding, ding. That is a good one. There you go. You don't need 80 cents. You get $3 under spot. Come on. All right. Let's find something else. There's one for $3.50. There's another for $3.50. Check the coins well. You don't want slick, damaged, holed, bent, or heavily worn. You want full dates. Full dates. Look for that. Look for average circulated. And if you find something nice like the Mercs, let me know, because I didn't get nice Mercs when I spent my $3,000. Here's some Benjis, $361. You got to pay up for those. All right, in a big lot. Here's a very big lot. Can we get them even cheaper? 40 times face. 40 times face. Nah, Skippy. Oh, that's a promotion probably. 34.7, heavily worn, Liberty, watch out. Watch out, they will be. Heavily worn, no, just watch out for Liberty. Mercury Dimes, 34.80, oh gosh. Now we're going to see a great deal here, and here I am out of money. Oh, he'll take a best offer. He's a big seller. Fair feedback, 99.3, means a few people were not happy with him. Wow, those are nice looking little Mercs there. Wow. Oh, man. I missed it. Okay. 34.80. You'll be let's say he takes 34. You get out the door at 33. You get Mercs for $3 under spot. Do all the math on this. Let's find out what his negatives are. Some people didn't like him for some reason. Let's check the negative ratings. And okay, I don't like to give negative feedback. This seller cannot be trusted. He did not send the item. Okay. I tried 3 times to contact my seller. Do you combine shipping? Okay, that's bullshit. Who cares about that? I've been a part of eBay. One of my peeves is being shafted with extra shipping for combined. No, that's bullshit. Buyer beware does not. Okay, this is a whole bunch of bullshit about combined shipping. The guy's got Mercs at $3 under spot, so I do not hold that against him. That's a good. Good deal. If he sends you what's in the picture, that is a good friggin' deal. You know I love my Mercs, especially if they have dates. That is a very good deal, and I'd ignore those negative comments there, unless he cancels on you, then, well, you did see that comment. Okay, let's keep going here. Wow, that was a good deal. Oh, man. You know, sometimes you just got to hold your nose and buy. I know some of you guys are losing interest here because we're kind of stuck in the high 48s. It's called consolidation. That's what I think it is. Let's find a decent price kilo, huh? 16.70 out the door would be $50 off, about 16.20 on a kilo, and that'll be around spot, I think. But I'd get those Mercs. Vintage poured silver. Let's find something random here. Find something random. Oh, there's a beat up Silvertown bar. Notice it has the silver. Why do I always fall on that one? Let's find you something else. What do we got here? $6.50 for a Jackson bar. That's kind of pricey. What else we got here? Silver Farm, $6.50. That's a known bar. Interesting little nugget there. Looks like they sand it, huh? That's interesting. Sand it down to a solid 10 ounces. If you're buying vintage bars, the odd weight bars are usually older than the flat weight bars. Let's do I did the kilo. Let's do the 100 ounce bar. This ought to be under spot, or don't buy it. Don't want an Engelhard. 100 ounce, 50.12. $150 off with a 3% rebate credit card. Make sure you check out through PayPal, and you'd make all your defaults, appropriate. $48.50 against a spot price of $48.69. You'll save 20 cents a bar with a good rebate credit card. But I'd buy the Mercs, guys. I'd buy the Mercs. I'd buy the Eagles. What else we got here? I should check Platinum, huh? Now, some of you talk about the Platinum Eagles being unaffordable and overpriced. Yes, they are. Does the mintage justify the price? I don't know. You decide, but it's a collector coin. So you can stay away from that at these prices if you want. If you just want a random Platinum coin, this listing here will probably get you to a Noble. There's a bar for $16.93, but honestly, those third ounces are cheaper at the dealer. It's like you don't always have to buy on eBay. You go where it's cheapest, and then you save your credit card rebates for something good like those Mercs. Here we go. Tuba Morgans, and these are. Oh, are we going to get pre-21 Morgans? Here's a mid-sized seller, 100% feedback. Here's some Morgan silver dollars. They're 2021s. I don't know. They've probably been dipped or something. But they're $42.50 each, and they're about $41 out the door. So don't buy the culls. Get something nice. But those could be adulterated. Let's move on to Round Table. 1,055 for 21s. Here's a Carson City Morgan. What is that doing in there? Okay, I don't know how that got in there. Let's do the peace dollars. Tuba BU peace dollars are going to be $42.75, about 41 out the door for BU peace dollars. He's a good size seller, 100% feedback, $2 shipping. Nothing ships for less than $5 anymore, you know that. So don't begrudge seller a $2 shipping. They don't look like they've been touched to me. That's not bad. And of course, Morgans bring more money than peace dollars. If you're buying a random Morgan and peace dollar deal, if you get the peace dollars, you did not do as well than if you got the Morgans. But they are random 2025 date. I don't really know the mintage of 2025, but that'd be nice. You pick that up, give those for stocking stuffers, okay? People love getting vintage silver dollars, and especially if they're neat and shiny. You want to give away a cull silver dollar? People will throw it in a corner somewhere. It'll be ugly. Okay, let's get on to the gold. And what do I want to go to? 10th ounce gold eagle. It ain't going to be 460. For God's sakes, why would you pay that? Here, same sellers. They're 462. On this one, you'll take $12 off. You'll be at 450. But I would rather go to bullion.com. Here's a BU 1/10 ounce gold eagle. Check the price on their website, man. Okay, you'll see that with the 3% rebate credit card, you're going to save sizable money on pretty much everything you buy in the gold category. Let's go on to a 1/4 ounce gold eagle. And I do appreciate if you click my links. If you shop on eBay, it helps my channel, keeps me in business. I just had to renew my website, GoDaddy. Not cheap. Let's see. Here we got a 1/4 ounce gold eagle for $1,100. What's wrong with this seller? That's what's wrong. For feedback. Do not do it. Don't even think about it. And it's too cheap. Why would he sell that for $1,100 when the next highest list? Well, he might. I was thinking this was 1170, but it's 1117. Pinehurst, okay. I've had pretty good luck with Pinehurst. Here's a BU Gold Eagle, and that is 1118. Let's do the math on one of those with a 3% rebate credit card. 1.8 times 0.97. And you are at 1,084. Over at the Delio, 1,084 for a 1/4 ounce gold eagle is going to cost you 1108. So what did I say? There's your differential. $20, $24 on a gold eagle. That's a $100 differential on a melt basis. That's why I do it that way. Is that an unknown seller? Right there? Nope. That's Pinehurst. They're very well known. Okay, so there you go. Buy it on eBay. Use that 3% rebate credit card. We've been scoring some good deals on 1/4 ounce gold eagles, 1/2 ounce gold eagles. Let's go on to a 1/2 ounce gold eagle. I got to get to the right place. Where am I? 1/2 ounce gold eagle is going to be as cheap as $21.53. On this 3% off will be $63, $64. Yeah, $64. So that'll put you at about $20.90 on a 1/2 ounce gold eagle. $20.90 over at the Delio is going to be $21.45. Save $55 for that 1/2 ounce gold eagle, and it's a good seller. Okay, let's keep going here. It's just going to be the same story. The bigger the gold, the bigger the savings. Let's do a buffalo. Maybe we'll get a deal on the penultimate coin. $43.87, $170 off. Put you at about $4,200 on a gold buffalo. I want to do the pre-33 today. Let's check that out. And we ought to be able to get some pre-33 at spot. So we are doing double eagles. Very fine is an acceptable grade. That's a good seller. Now look at that. The very fine double eagle is cheaper than the cleaned double eagle. Look at APMEX selling a cleaned double eagle, which means it's been stuck in jewelry or somebody messed with it. You don't want that. Wow, look how cheap this is. Is that going to be out of stock? Holy mackerel, in stock, double eagle from bullion.com. It's only very fine, but that is an acceptable grade. You know I prefer the St. Gaudens, but let's do the math, guys. This is nice. If you got $4,000 lying around, 4010 divided by 0.9675, that's all the gold you're going to get in a double eagle, is 41.44 times 0.97 with a good credit card. I recommend the PayPal credit card, the American Express Everyday Cash credit card. You're out the door at 40.20 for very fine Double Eagle. Spot is 40.14. Oh, sorry about that. You're $6 over spot. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad right there. 50 peso is going for 50 peso, 43.57. Yeah, I think I found this the other day. That's an awfully nice looking coin. That looks too nice. I don't know. That looks like it's got chocolate in the middle or something. I don't know about that. I'm just going to keep going here. Here's my eBay store. Here's the bars I pour. Channel members are welcome to pick up my bars at $2.50 over spot plus $5 shipping. And ways to refine your bars. Here's the Amex card is a great card. The PayPal card's a great card. Unlimited cash back when and only when you check out through PayPal. I like the Quicksilver card and I like the Saver card from Capital One. Went out to a nice dinner the other day and used that card. Worked at the restaurant. Okay, that's 3% cash back. Capital One, good outfit. Not everybody qualifies for Capital One though. And the previous picks of the day. I'm going to check this Engelhard deal again. Now, with $49 silver, you probably won't buy it, but why were you buying at 53 and you're not buying at 49? That is a question, and this is gonzo, man. Oh, if I only had unlimited cash, but I'm on a limited income. I'm on a low budget. Okay, and anything else? What's going on in the chat room? What's going on in the chat room? There it is. It's at the bottom and top of my website. I'm getting slightly less picky, says Tex. Okay. Is Double Eagle says no. Texas says, is the ASE year important to y'all? Well, yeah, don't get a 2025 unless you can get it at that government deal. Because you're paying up for the 2025, and next year the buyback prices will drop by $3. So get the back dates on the Eagles, but when you see a 2025 for cheaper than a back date, you buy it. Okay, what else we got here? Jump on something. Okay, jump on that. Oh, this is the government deal. I don't know why those aren't sold out. Have no idea. Let's see. Here are Eagle Privy Eagles. If you want those, I would not pay $60 for them. Hell no. No, I'm going to be selling mine. Actually, I didn't get the Eagles. I got the Star. The lawyers. Oh, here's this Polybuck. He's talking about the class action lawsuit, and it's so funny. The very first place he recommends to shop for Silver Eagles, they don't have the cheapest Silver Eagle in their website. Yeah, that's how that rolls. You know, you only get on that website if you pay them. Okay, let's keep going here. I guess that's all I have for you. So, welcome, new members. Where am I? I'm lost this morning. I thank you for showing up. Thank you for the thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. And join the membership if you want to be part of the inner circle. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Happy hunting.